Welcome to a deep intellectual, historical, and geopolitical journey on your channel, BT+. Today, we pose one of the most massive hypothetical questions possible. What if India never existed on the map of the world? This question does not merely deal with the absence of a country within its political borders. It deals with the absence of a continental and civilizational mass that served as the primary engine for the gears of human history and the balance that has regulated the Earth's climate and geography for millions of years. To understand the magnitude of this scenario, we must begin with the ancient roots of this planet, specifically from a geological perspective. The existence of India is the result of one of the most violent and significant tectonic events in Earth's history. About 50 million years ago, the Indian plate was moving at an exceptional speed from the south to collide with the Eurasian plate. This great collision did not just create land. It raised the Himalayas, the Karakoram mountain range, and the Tibetan plateau. In a world without India, these towering mountains, which we call the roof of the world, would not exist. This means losing the largest thermal regulator for the continent of Asia and the world. The Himalayas are not just a natural landscape. They are a giant shield that prevents freezing polar winds from Siberia from sweeping south. Conversely, they trap the moist monsoons coming from the Indian Ocean, causing heavy rains that irrigate vast lands. Without this collision, large parts of Asia, including China, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East, would experience a completely different climate, likely dominated by deadly drought or polar cold that would make life nearly impossible. Furthermore, the great rivers like the Ganges, the Indus, and the Brahmaputra, which are born from the melting snow of the Himalayas and serve as the lifeblood for 2 billion people, would have no trace. This means that South Asia might have been just an extension of the ocean or a barren desert unfit for human habitation. Moving from geography to the dawn of human civilization, the absence of India means a gap that cannot be filled in human scientific development. We are talking about the cradle of one of the oldest civilizations, the Indus Valley Civilization. But the most prominent impact the world would lose is the symbolic language of the universe, mathematics. The decimal system we use today and the invention of the number 0 are pure Indian gifts to the world that changed the course of history. Without 0, it would have been impossible for the Arabs to develop algebra and for Renaissance scientists in Europe to lay down the laws of modern physics, leading to our current era where all digital technology, programming, and artificial intelligence depend on the binary system, the core of which is 0. In a world without India, humanity might have remained stuck in primitive and complex counting systems like Roman numerals, and human technical development would have been delayed by thousands of years. Not only that, but ancient India provided advanced concepts in astronomy, where scientists like Aryabhata determined the Earth's rotation on its axis and calculated its circumference with amazing accuracy centuries before Copernicus and Galileo. Furthermore, modern medicine would have lost the Sushruta Samhita, one of the oldest surgical texts in history, which accurately describes rhinoplasty and eye surgeries, meaning that modern medicine would have lost the fundamental foundations upon which it was built. On the historical and political level, the absence of India would have rewritten the story of the world from scratch. Let's consider the Age of Discovery. The primary driver for Europeans leaving their continent in the 15th century was the search for a route to India. Indian spices, textiles, and immense wealth were the fuel that pushed Portuguese, Spanish, and British ships to venture into the unknown. Christopher Columbus did not set out to discover America. He set out to find a sea route leading to the riches of India. If India did not exist, there would have been no massive material motive to justify these expensive and dangerous voyages. Perhaps the world would not have discovered the Americas until much later and by mere chance, and the political map of the world would look entirely different. Speaking of empires, Great Britain would never have become the dominant global power in the 19th century without its control over India. India was the jewel in the crown, the primary source of funding for the British Industrial Revolution, and the essential supplier of manpower and armies that extended London's influence from East Asia to Africa. The absence of India means the absence of the British Empire as we knew it, and it means the global balance would have tipped toward other powers. The maps of Arab and African countries drawn by colonialism might look completely different today. Culturally and spiritually, India is the laboratory of religions and the source of deep philosophies. The absence of India means the absence of Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism. Buddhism, in particular, is what shaped the collective mentality of East Asia, from China to Japan and Vietnam. Without Indian philosophy, these societies would have possessed radically different ethical and social systems. Modern society would also have lost the concept of yoga and spiritual meditation, tools that millions of people resort to today to deal with the pressures of modern life. Even in linguistics, the absence of India leaves a strange void. Ancient Sanskrit is one of the mothers of Indo-European languages. The absence of this language and its roots means that the languages we speak today, such as English, Latin, and Persian, would have evolved very differently, and we might have lost thousands of words and concepts that link the peoples of the earth linguistically. In the modern era, if India were to disappear today, the world would face an immediate demographic and economic catastrophe. We are talking about 1.4 billion people who represent the world's largest democracy and the largest reservoir of technical talent. India is the back office of the world, where its companies, applications, and engineers manage the digital infrastructure of the largest global institutions. The absence of Indian minds means a collapse in Silicon Valley systems and a halt for companies like Google and Microsoft, which are led by the children of this civilization. Furthermore, India is the leading producer of affordable medicines and vaccines. Its absence would mean that healthcare in poor and developing countries would become impossibly expensive, potentially leading to endless global health crises. In conclusion, when we wonder what if India did not exist, we discover that we are not talking about losing a state, but about losing a fundamental motor of human history. India is what pushed humans to sail around the world, taught them how to calculate with zero, offered them deep spiritual philosophies, and today forms an integral part of our digital future. A world without India would not just be smaller in area, it would be a world poorer in science, colder in climate, and less diverse in spirit. Thank you for following this deep analysis on your channel BT+. We hope this journey into the world of what if has given you a new perspective and a deeper appreciation for the role civilizations play in shaping our daily lives. Share with us in the comments. Do you think human civilization would have been able to invent zero if India did not exist? And which country or civilization would you like us to analyze the impact of its absence next time? See you in the next episode.